I'm willing to bet that you would find it difficult to believe that there is a driver silly enough to be breaking the law in front of a police car when they don't have a license to drive and they don't have insurance. But oh wait, there is, because this video here is the perspective of a police car from Avon and Somerset Roads Policing. And this police car is obviously unmarked and driving along, and this car decides to fly down in the hard shoulder because it wants to avoid the queues of all the lorries. So of course it is then rapidly pursued by the unmarked police car. Not only that, the vehicle doesn't seem to spot that it's been followed by a police car until just a little while afterwards, when it does realize, and perhaps he went through some thought process of not stopping, only realizing that that would be an even more ridiculous thing to do, and then ultimately does pull over to the hard shoulder and stops for the police car. Now, this driver, as it happens, when the police ran various checks, it turns out that the driver did not have a driving license or insurance. Now, what do you do if you are hit by a driver who doesn't have insurance? We'll come back to that in a little moment. But first of all, in this case here, as you can see on screen from the tweet from the Roads Policing, this driver down the M5 went to court and was fined £1,958 and 8 points on their driving license. Now, some of you might say, well, how can you get points on a driving license when they didn't have a driving license? Well, what happens in these cases is the DVLA will produce what's referred to as a ghost license, meaning if ever they do get their license, those points will immediately be credited to their driving license. Now, aside from all of that, if you are involved in a collision with an uninsured driver, I've had clients in this position before where the insurance then has to seek recovery from the Motor Insurance Bureau, which is, as you might have guessed, picked up by all of the other insured drivers around the UK. So not only does an uninsured driver pose all sorts of serious issues and complications, but the cost of which funds the Motor Insurance Bureau, is picked up by all of the other insurance companies, which ultimately you may well believe is paid for by you, the people that do pay for your insurance, because of course you, my viewers, I would assume are paying for your road insurance and driving insurance. So with that in mind, bearing in mind that if you do have a collision like this, that's what's going to happen. You are going to have to seek to claim against the uninsured driver, which will be picked up by the Motor Insurance Bureau, who will then in turn, I understand, will pursue the uninsured driver for the civil reclaim of the full cost of that. How successful they are at that is anybody's guess. So if you end up in the unfortunate position of having a collision and there's an uninsured driver, or you need to claim against an untraced driver, the Motor Insurance Bureau can certainly help you. So I'll drop that link in the description below. Of course, this is not a sponsored video or affiliated video in any way, sense or form, but I hope you found it interesting nonetheless. So in the meantime, I hope you found that an interesting and entertaining little snippet of police catching somebody without a license, without insurance, and getting one more dangerous driver off the road. In the meantime, please do hit that like button and subscribe. And as always, thank you for watching.